Hello, hello, hello. This is Reginald Martin, and you are at Kemetic Centered Living, where we help those who are transitioning from restrictive, negative, religious, and Christian programming. Answer the questions that Mama and them said you're not supposed to ask. You know, God said you're not supposed to know that. You didn't ask God that. Okay. Well, we answer those questions. We talk about them because God gave us a brain. And that means if He gave us a brain, we're supposed to use that summers. We're supposed to use it so that you can live life boldly, authentically, unapologetically, and on your terms without guilt or shame. That's what it's about, living life to the fullest. And you all know for me, I was an ex-Christian. I grew up Christian. I was raised in this stuff. My family was Christian or is Christian. Everybody in my neighborhood was Christian. So when I talk about these ideas, I talk about them from my experience as a Black man in America that was a Christian. So when I'm talking about this is not just an academic channel. This is not just where I'm just giving you straight academic stuff. No, it is extremely personal, very personal. And if you can relate, then we connect. That's how it works. So I've never been Muslim. I've never been Jewish. I've never been Buddhist. I've never been any of those things. I don't study those. But I have been Christian. And I was Christian for most of my young adult life. How do you get over this programming? So I do what I call the KCL knowledge stack, because one, I help you get over the programming. And what I do with a lot of the videos is I show you the origin of a lot of these concepts that we know as dogmatic Christianity. Okay. I break those down for you and I break a frame of reference for you. Because you have to break that frame in order to get out of it and live. You really do. You really do. Okay. Then I show you what it was like before Christianity created the frame that it created. Okay? Because before Christianity, these ideas were empowering to us, empowering to all of humanity. Okay? And then I show you tools through my courses and classes. I give you tools in order to enhance your life that you can use. All right. So KCL is not just about giving straight information. We're about giving you information that you can apply and live your life. Christianity had us so afraid to live, and then we were even afraid to die. Damn, that's messed up. So what's up, everybody? What's up? So I'm Reginald Martin, and I am here. So AM1 started out off the bat, gave $5. Thank you for that. Thank you for that off the bat. Love the support. So if guys, if I say something of value to you and you want to help support the channel, it is greatly appreciated. But think of it in terms of using the prime principle, one of the prime principles, which is priming the pump. In other words, what you put out is what you get back. That's what priming the pump is based on. And priming the pump is an idea that you give. If you ever saw the old pumps where you had to pump the water from the ground and then bring the water up, well, you first had to prime it. Priming it means that you took a little bit of water. You might have a little jug sitting on the side of something filled with water, and then you pour a little bit of it in a suction cup, priming it so that it can get the suction valve going so it can bring up the rest of the water. When you give, whether that's time, money, love, whatever it is, you give a little so you can signal to the universe what it is that you want more back in abundance. Okay? That's what priming the pump is about. So AM1, thank you for that $5. You priming the pump. You do that when you give through joy. Okay. When you give through gratitude, gratitude is the golden frame of life. Be grateful for the small things, and then they can grow into big things. Yes, that's what it's about. That's what it's about. So, what's up, family? What's up? So, all right, all right. So, Nigel Walton, thank you very much. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Says, love you, brother. 100. Thank you. Thank you for being here. All right. All right, let's see. John Fort, what's happening, my brother? John Fort's always in the comments supporting me, so I always appreciate that. I appreciate you guys. That's the thing. It's not just about money. A lot of times, guys, it's just about support. Just saying, "Hey, man, thank you," or just saying how what I do impacts you. I so appreciate those stories. When people talk about how things, what I've done, and what I do helps them. I love hearing that, man. That lights me up because that's why I do it. I want to help others. I'm in service to humanity. And that's what it's about. I love that. I love that. So I love hearing you guys' stories. Okay. All right. Aluma Nikki Blanco, what's up? What's up, my sister? Good to see you, nigga. Aluma Nikki is another one that's always supportive of me. So I appreciate her always. Always. Guys, just come to the comments. I mean, they've been, John Fort and Aluma Nikki have been years at this channel. And they just come and just, make a nice comment and just and that's giving to me. So I appreciate you guys. I really do. I really do. So thank you very much. All right, all right. Let's see. So I see, let's see, we got some questions. See the Unknown Minds podcast. All right, Unknown Minds podcast. I like that name. Say, what's up, man? Are you open to doing a podcast collaboration about Kemetic spirituality? Absolutely, positively, brother. So always, or sister. So I don't know if that's a brother or sister, but yeah, I love doing those podcasts and talking about this and just tapping into other audiences. So yeah, that's something I'm always open to doing. Most definitely, most definitely. Let's see. Also, let's see. Also, how long it took you to learn Kemetic spirituality? I'm still learning. So I'm still learning. I just share with y'all as I go. Like, this is something that you don't just like reach a level and go, oh, I got it all. No. Spirituality is about progression. It's about you really developing yourself every single day. With Christianity, it was about perfection, which I think is a bunch of bull. Okay. So perfection is really the antithesis to progress, because once you reach this make believe idea that you are perfect, you're stagnated. There's no growth. So this idea that you reach some level where everything just stops and then you like reached it and you can go no further, you're stagnated. That's not how the universe works. Once I mean, you think about it even in our lives, because how the universe works is how we work. We are it. It is us. Okay. You can have a goal and set a goal, but as soon as you reach that goal, it's like, okay, well, now what? You get excited about doing more because you're constantly evolving. That's how the universe is. So as far as learning this knowledge, the Unknown podcast, I study this all the time. I was studying for hours a day. Okay. I mean, 3 or 4 hours just studying content, studying books, studying stuff, notes that I've taken over the years. I look back over notes because this is what happens for me is I can study something that might have been 2 years ago that I studied it. Okay. I can go back to that stuff, that 2-year-old stuff, and then all of a sudden it's like it's new information. There's like a new level that I've gained just through experience and just other things. And then all of a sudden that information is new. And then there's another piece that I didn't catch 2 years ago. And it adds to my level of knowledge. I love that, man. That excites the hell out of me just doing that. I do that. That happens with books that I read and stuff like that. Really good books. I'll always go back to those books and refer back to them. I'll do that often because it's no joke that when you learn something and it impacts you, you're only you can it can only impact you from the level of knowledge that you're at that moment. But as you evolve, you gain more knowledge and you gain more perspective, and then that same book can be like a whole nother, it can be a whole nother reading, because there's now at your level, the level that you're at, that book can now be there's more information there that you just bypass because you didn't have the perspective to be able to see it before. So yeah, so I'm always learning Kemetic spirituality. So for sure. All right. So thank you, brother. Thank you for those questions. I definitely appreciate it. Definitely appreciate it. Let's see. Michael Wilkerson says, Hotep from Chicago. What's up, Michael? What's happening? Brenda Grant, hello. Hello. Good. I see you. I see you. I see you. What's happening? Let's see. All right. All right. Oh, I got behind, guys. I thought I had my scroll here going. My scroll just stopped. I was like, what's up? I don't see any more questions. So Judy Smith Randall, what's up? Family is in the house. What's up, Judy Smith? Good to see you. Good to see ya. Judy Smith is one of my admins in the KCL community. We had a great live last night. I do this live in the community where we're all on a Zoom, so we get to like talk to each other. I love that. I love that part. So we do that once a month on a Tuesday, once a month. So love that. But I had a great one. Had a great one. Let's see. Joe Style says you have many viewers outside the USA. Yeah. So Africa is South Africa. I know there's a lot of people, a lot of friends from South Africa, man, Zambia, from the UK, man, all over the place. So yes, there's a lot of viewers. So people that take my class from all over the world. So for sure. And let's see. Uh, let's see. Unknown podcast here. I'll put my email where you can reach me. Let's see. CLcommunity.com. Let's see. Support. I'll just put my email there at kclcommunity.com. So that's the email you can reach me at Unknown Podcast. And I do not do coaching and stuff over email. So people, to just please just respect it. I was giving that to him, but a lot of times people want me to like coach them through email and stuff. Man, that's a lot of typing for me, brother. I type like 5 words a minute, so it's a strain for me. For real. So yeah. Akashic Pearl, thank you for that. Yeah, that background, that's actually Akashic Pearl. That's a picture that I actually took in a helicopter ride over Hawaii. So this was last year, what was it, last September? I went to Hawaii and took a helicopter ride. Man, that was so beautiful. These places that we could go to, man, you could only go to them by helicopter. You couldn't even get to them by foot. But thank you. But I love that. Love those images, man. They're awesome. They're awesome. So let's see. All right. Let's see. Let's see. Brendan Allen, can you touch on Amun real quick? So tell me what you want me to touch on there, brother. What you want me to touch on, Amun? So all right, and Michael Wilkerson gave $5 on the super sticker. Thank you, Michael Wilkerson. I definitely appreciate you. Definitely appreciate you. So all of you guys that are using me to prime your pump, I appreciate that very much, very much so. So let's see. Yeah, so let me know what you mean by that, Brendan, when you say touch on Amun, or Amen. So basically that is Amen is the Kemetic term for the hidden. So we were always told that it meant so be it. Okay. But in actuality, the idea of Amen actually came from first the Ogdoad of the ancient Egyptian netters. Okay. And the Ogdoad were like 4 pairs and 8 netters that were in the noon. Okay. and the noon was like the watery abyss of infinity. We could call it infinity before, and I'll just call it the Big Bang. I don't know if there was necessarily ever a Big Bang, but it gives us a reference point. But before the Big Bang, there was supposedly this singularity that all things, all possibilities existed before we had the universe, the created universe. Well, one of these pairs was Amun or Amun and Amunet. Okay, and Amun meant the hidden. In other words, it's unknown. So the ancients would say that the idea that we call God, okay, is unknowable. We cannot know what it is from our human level of understanding and our human level of experience. Our human brain cannot even contemplate the idea of creation from its beginning, if there ever was a beginning, because we only think in linear terms. Okay, our thought process only goes forward. Okay, there was a past, present. There's past, present, and future. Okay, or we think of it in terms of past, present, and future, but our mind only thinks in linear time moving forward. Okay, but the idea of Amen was first within the noon, and then later on it became the idea of just the idea of God is unknown, or we cannot know what it is. Okay, we cannot know how it does what it does. Okay, the only way we even know that it exists is because we're here. There had to be something that created us, that created all of this. Okay. I mean, I look in the mirror and I'm like, damn, I'm glad. Ooh, boy, you got created. Ooh, wee. So, no, I don't. I don't do that. Okay, not every day, but you know what I'm saying. But anyway, but Amen was the unknown. Okay, so that's what it was. What Amen is about, the hidden. Okay, so that's where that idea. So at the end of our Christian prayers, or even all of our really our what is our Abrahamic religions use Amen at the end of their prayers. Well, they're just paying homage to the Kemetic or Egyptian Amen. 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 All right. All right. So yeah. Also, guys, if you have questions and you want that question to stand out, because a lot of times these things can get to going pretty fast. If you do a super sticker or give and put your question in there, obviously I'll see the question. Okay, so that's another way you can give, but you can get your questions and stuff answered. Okay, so that's one way that you can do that. Is that Akili? What's up, Akili? She's a Scorpioology. All right, yes, a fellow Scorpion. She was in the live last night. Had those good questions going. Good to see you, family. Glad to see you here. Appreciate you being here. And thank you for letting me know who you were. A lot of people be talking to me. I don't know who they are. I don't know the screen names. So thank you, Keely. Thank you very much. All right, all right. So yeah. Yeah, and Illuminiki, so the in the Amun, all it is just there's a flavor that our different languages use, because the ancients didn't always put the vowels in their when they were writing their names in their scripts. And there was a reason why they did that, okay? The reason why they did that is because it in Africa, when they just use the consonants, then everybody kind of understood the consonants, but they could put their own vowel or how they did it in their language. They could insert the vowels in the name. Excuse me. So the words could be read by many different cultures within Africa. Okay, and later on around the world, so people use, so you might be Amun in Amun in what the UK, Amen in the US, Amon, somewhere else using the O. So different people use different consonants. Okay, So yeah, 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 yeah. Let's see. Uh, let's see. The unknown mind says, "How do you pray? How do you pray yourself? If you're very conscious that yourself is the creator itself." Okay, and this is a deep question, but it's a very the unknown mind podcast. You have to look at this from a different perspective, okay, or a different paradigm when we're talking about prayer, okay, because even the way that you ask this question, I can tell that you're from you have a religious background, probably a Christian background. Okay, so from the Kemetic perspective, there was no such thing as worship. Okay, so from a Christian perspective, we prayed to something, and we believe we were praying to something outside ourselves to intercede for us. Okay, from a Kemetic perspective, we are the creator in human form. So we are it. Okay. Well, you're not, you are essentially a living prayer. Okay. We think of the ritual and the words as the prayer. But from a Kemetic stance, and if you want to get a see, you can go to y'all can go to this website. Wait a minute, I got it up here. I got it up here. Hold on. There's a I can there's a little teaching, a video teaching that you can get access to at who do I pray or who do I pray to now.com, www.whodoipraytonow.com. You can sign up for that teaching and get, and what I do is I actually break down esoterically the story of Isaac, Jacob, and Esau. We've been taught about it one way, but in reality, it's actually teaching you what prayer is or how to pray. Okay, the science of it, not just a superstition. All right, but you're always praying, always. Okay, you're in other words, you're always in communication with the universe, and that's what a lot of times people think that you're not, you can get disconnected from God when we were Christians, or God will turn his back on you or punish you and all that stuff. That Kemetic paradigm just didn't exist. It was about the science of using this knowledge. Okay, so that was important. So you're always praying no matter what you are. So your thoughts and what you send out as thoughts into the universe is important. If you have and your thoughts will be reflected back to you to let you know what you and how you are being in the universe, okay, to the universe. Life is your mirror. Life is the reflection of your inner being, okay? That's one way, even from a Kemetic perspective, it's like our inner being plants the seed, and then the life is the seed or the sun that is reflected back to us. It is only through the sun that we can know the Father. Did y'all hear me? Did you hear me on that? So that was something that was said in Christianity, that it's a totally different paradigm when you understand it esoterically. Okay. The seed or the Father is within us. Okay. And then that seed is projected as the sun outside of us as life. Life is the reflection. Okay. The sun. So on a Kemetic science level. Woo! That's some deep. Well, that make me want to shout, hallelujah, glory. Ah, so yeah, 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 yeah. All right, all right. Let's see. You got my ears. All right, 100 Black say I got your ears. It gave $5. I appreciate you. 100 Black Rock. Or is that Rock Oak? Thank you, thank you, thank you. So yeah, this stuff. Hey, once you start to putting it together, it's really a lot of times it's really very simple ideas that can be very powerful. And one thing that I've learned is that the truth is simple. What we know as truth is really simple, you know. So yeah, 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 definitely, definitely, and deep, deep. uh let's see here. Yes, yes. AM1 says exactly. You're always praying. You are a living prayer. Guys, this is the deeper understanding of this knowledge because we when think about it, when we went to church, we would hoop and holler on Sunday, and then Monday we go back and live the same life that we lived. You know, we get holy for a couple of hours during the day, at least what we thought was holy, and then go back and do the same thing. But when you learn the Kemetic ideas, these things become a way of life and not where it's restrictive like Christianity. Because a lot of people ask me, well, hey, why would I want to leave one religion and go to another? Kemetic science is not a religion. It's a metaphysical system, metaphysical science, and philosophical system that helps you to improve your life when you understand the science. So when you understand the idea of prayer, it shifts you automatically. Your life will be changed in 30 days, I promise you. When you understand the true idea of prayer, you won't be negative Nelly anymore. No. So you won't live your life from a negative perspective, always looking for negative shit to get upset about. When you understand that you are a living prayer and that life is reflected back to you as who you are. Your I am is being reflected back to you as your life. That's some deep, deep stuff. Some deep, deep stuff. All right. All right. Yep, you are a manifestation. Absolutely. Absolutely. You are the soul, the manifested soul in chemical clothes. The chemicals is what brings you what we know as chemicals is what actually helps you jump from the metaphysical into the physical. You have to cross a barrier. You have to cross a barrier. There we go. The cross, that's where you again, when you get into this stuff, the idea of the cross and Jesus dying on the cross, that was not about one special being from a Kemetic paradigm. That's not what it was taught 10,000 years before Christianity. You are the cross. Your body could not be in this dimension, on this plane of existence, without a cross that first occurred chemically. Are y'all feeling me? Y'all hearing me? This is where I do a lot of videos to try and break this stuff down. And the reason why I do these videos, guys, is not just to give information, it's to free you. It's to free you from the fear, from the negativity, from the self-loathing. I want you to be free of that stuff so that you can live your life and live life to the fullest. That's why you want to learn this stuff. Because because a lot of people, what they'll do is they'll learn a couple of things. They'll really get into the idea, oh, Jesus never existed, and then they'll stop there and still bring the same old religious beliefs to everything that they do the rest of their days. You're still religious if you're doing the religious stuff. If you still hate the same people you hated when you were religious, you shouldn't be hating. We're all here for a reason. All of us. All right? Yeah. So anyway, I get hyped about this stuff, man. It's because it's made such a huge impact in my life. I mean, I started learning this when I was really at one of the lowest points of my life. I had some low ones because I'm one of those people that's kind of hard headed. So life has to teach me through ass kickings. Oh, you want to keep on doing it that way? Okay, well let me show you. let me whoop your behind, and then you'll be like, okay, I give up. that's how I have to learn. Just like, oh, I can't do it anymore. Because as a Scorpio, I have to control stuff. I want to be or to believe that I'm in control of everything. My will can basically do everything that I need. Okay. Now understand that my will has kept me going a lot of times for sure. But there is some point it's not about your will. It's about you. And you have to shift who you are, what you believe, how you think. All of that has to shift in order for the change to have. So it's really, truly self improvement and self development that has to occur for things to change in your life. And for me, I want to be the hard head a lot of times, and I think it's my will when it's not about my will. It's something about me that has to change and has to grow. And until I get the ass kicking, I keep doing what I do. I'm a Scorpio. It's just what I do. I learned. So I've learned some tough lessons. So a lot of times the wisdom that I share with you is from ass kickings, having overcome that stuff. It's not just theory for me that I'm sharing with this. Okay. So yeah. All right, all right. See. Let's see. So let's see. I'm looking here. I'm just looking, guys, see if anybody has some questions here. I have no idea. See, Aunt Shanika says, "Do you know Hesse?" I have no idea what that is. Never heard that word before. First time. All right. All right. All right. All right. Let's see. Okay. So y'all having a little conversation. And the deal says, see, hey, Illuminati, we're all over the place. Scorpios are prolific. Sex is our religion. That's when we're growing first. Well, we're into our physical sexual self. So yes, we could be prolific for sure. Let's see. The Unknown Mind podcast is, what are your thoughts about crystals? I'm all for them because crystals can be a very powerful, energetic balancing tool for you. Okay, so I sleep with them under my pillow. So I want them to direct my I want them to direct my thoughts and consciousness as I sleep. Do y'all recognize that when you're asleep, you're more woke? Oh man, what you talking about? What you talking about, Willis? When you're asleep, you're more woke. You're act because your mind, your physical mind keeps you tuned to this physical reality. But when you go to sleep, your physical mind sleeps. And your conscious mind can then flow and go to all the other aspects of the universe. There are places that your mind can go that you can't even translate into physical reality. That's why dreams a lot of times can seem so weird, you know. And this is why you should learn like symbolic language, because a lot of times the only way that you can even bring this information back is through understanding it from a symbolic perspective. Well, crystals and stuff help direct and focus your dreams. Okay. So yes. But powerful, powerful stuff. Yeah. I've never Saint Shanika. I've never heard of it. So first time I've ever heard of that. Heard of that idea. So yeah. So it's not something that I study or have studied. uh, let's see. Yeah. Renee, what's up? Renee Rogers is in the house. What's happening? All right. Um, let's see. Okay. So yeah, but a lot of good stuff, guys. A lot of good stuff. So it's this Kemetic. Um, the reason why I really like the Kemetic stuff so much is that it helps me to unlearn the old Christian stuff. Okay, so a lot of the ideas, the metaphysical concepts, they are talked about in many different spiritual systems, and they can be expressed many different ways. But I like the Kemetic stuff because it helps me to unlearn and unhook from the old negative Christian frames that I had growing up. Okay, I was one of those ones that was raised from birth to probably 20 years old in Christianity. Okay. If you are one of those people that was raised and indoctrinated very deeply before 7 years old, you'll never get over all the Christian programming. Never. If you if well, it depends on how restrictive that your my family was a very restrictive type of religious belief system. Okay. So I was indoctrinated with these ideas, and the church has a saying. Old Jesuit priest says, "If you give me a child before 7 years old, they'll never stray from our teachings." And modern science and psychology has proven that. That because the mind until 7 years old is in a state where it's constantly learning, and then it's like after 7 years, and it's not a like an exact cutoff at seven, but somewhere around in there, 7, 8, 9 years old. And once it gets and you get indoctrinated, and it gets kind of embedded in your mind, you'll be constantly trying to overcome these restrictive ideas. So people think that that like one day they stop believing and then they're free. Please. Yeah, no, it don't happen like that. Don't happen like that. It's a constant process to work through this stuff. I have been out of Christianity for at least 20 years. I still run into indoctrination in certain aspects and certain points of my life. Okay. That I still am trying to work through. Okay. So it's a process. So it might be, for instance, just as a man, and the idea of a man being a provider, the protector, and and all of that, and especially around finances and money. Okay, men are taught within our society, and not just Christianity, but there's a whole nother layers around Christianity, that basically men are taught that if you can't provide, then you can't love. You can't be loved. Okay. In other words, you have to be able to provide for a family monetarily, or you shouldn't marry. Okay. I've heard people say this all the time. So that was something that I was indoctrinated with at a very early age, and something that I grew up with hearing all the time. But what that made me do was get the idea that if I didn't have money, I wasn't worthy. I wasn't worthy of love, friendship, anything. Okay, so when I would go through difficult times financially, that programming will start running, man. I've lost everything I had twice. Okay, but that's type of stuff, that type of indoctrination, it goes to into you at a deep level, and it only comes up when you run into it, when you start to experience something that's going to bring that stuff up. Okay, so that's what I mean. It's like you don't just one day flip a switch, and then you're over that indoctrination if you were raised in it from a very early age. Okay, so that's what I mean by that. All right, all right, all right. Uh, let's see. Teacher Jasmine B. Rune stones. I've never used rune stones. So all these divination tools can have some validity, okay, for the person, and it's really about what excites you, whether it's tarot cards, rune stones, crystals, astrology, numerology. All of these things have been around for ages, and they can have some validity for you. Okay, so it's just about what excites you. Do what excites you. Okay, that's really it. Find out what you like, and have fun with it. Because the more fun you're having learning this stuff, and that's where a lot of people, they get into this bag of, what should I learn first? Should I learn this? Should I learn? No, just have fun. First, start learning something and have fun. And what happens is it's like it starts to be like a puzzle that you just start to put together, and it just leads you to different places and different things that you like. You know, and you'll understand it better when you're enjoying learning. Promise you. Okay. Let's see. Zell Dosha says, "Why do they say amen at the end? Amen at the end of a prayer? It's just to paying homage to the idea of amen." And I actually talked about that at the beginning. Talked about amen. but just paying homage to the idea of Amen, or the hidden or the unknown and unknowable source of creation. Okay. Yes, AM1. It is an endless puzzle because you're literally learning. That's why it's really about just being joyful and having fun every day, because it is a constant process of learning. And that's what you that's how you really should live your life, is living through your joys every day. And if you're not, you should be finding and looking for ways that you can make that happen. But a lot of times we don't understand that we can create the life that we want, and that's the more of the secret teachings of a lot of this knowledge, and but everybody doesn't grab a hold of it, so very, very powerful stuff. So absolutely. Absolutely. So let's see. Yeah, agreed. Let's see. Illuminiki says it's difficult to break free, or it's difficult to break free of the Christian mindset. But absolutely, it is. It's definitely, and a lot of times people don't even realize that there is a mindset. But think about what Christianity does for us a lot of times, and how it causes us to frame our life, and it causes us to frame our beliefs, because you think in terms of, first, you're a born sinner. Okay, think about how heinous that idea even is that you're immediately born defective. Something is wrong with you. So you start off with a belief in self-loathing. Okay, then with self-loathing, there's all kinds of other beliefs that are tied to that like tentacles: being unworthy, you know, uh, a filthy rag, a wretch, all these things that are supposed to be showing that we are like being humble, but is in reality self-loathing. Get into the mirror every day and tell yourself every morning that I'm a wretch. I'm no good. I'm nothing. So see how your life is going to go, how your day is going to go by starting out like that. None of us would do that consciously. Use those as affirmations. But we will allow that in Christian teachings, because we don't think about what those beliefs are doing to us. We're so ingrained, or have those so ingrained, that this is the right way to do it. We don't even question it when we should. Okay, so yeah, so that's those type of belief systems. That belief system is really what I'm trying to help people break, because, and the reason why for me that I was doing that, or started to do that, because I could see, looking, growing up as a black man in America, and I could see the African diaspora worldwide. Why was it that so many of our neighborhoods and the people in our neighborhoods were living in poverty, that could not be self-sustaining? Okay, so being I what I ended up doing was, just when I went to college, I studied psychology. Okay, and got a degree in psychology. So it made me start to study the mind and how people think, and why their type of thinking produces their life. So when I saw that all around in the African diaspora, and in my neighborhood that I grew up in, most people were poor. Okay, living in poverty. But I swear to God, you're not supposed to swear to God. Well, I'm doing it. But anyway, uh, I could walk 2 blocks in any direction in my neighborhood, and I could pass at least 3 churches. I kid you not. I could walk 2 blocks anywhere in my neighborhood and pass 3 churches at least. Okay. So what it ended up doing was helping me to recognize that there was a mindset, that there is a poverty mindset. And I know that there is a poverty mindset because I lived it. Okay. But what caused it? And a big part of the poverty mindset was all based in religion, which was really self-loathing and not really loving who you are. And as black people, we had a double whammy. Not only did we self-loathe, but the example of, or the perfect example that we were supposed to be like, was blonde-haired and blue-eyed Jesus. And if you were a woman, The perfect example was supposed to be this man. As a woman, you could never be that man, so you were always falling short. Again, it perpetuated these ideas of self-loathing. So I wonder why our communities were not self-sustaining. And if you are constantly in a mode of self-loathing, you cannot believe in yourself enough to start a business that can help your community. And I started to see that. I'll just look at that all around the world. There are over 400 million people of the African diaspora living in poverty worldwide that are Christian. Something is wrong with that. So that's why I teach what I teach, is to break that frame. They'll break that frame of self-loathing. You are not a born sinner. None of us are. The Kemetic teachings never, the original teachings from Kemet, never taught that. They taught that you are born divine. Which one of those will produce a better mindset? A born a born sinner, or born divine? And you will have Christians all day long that will argue against that and want to believe that they're a born sinner, that they're nothing without God, that they're a wretch. They want to believe that stuff and hold on to it. Why? Because it allows them to give an excuse for who they are and where they are. If you believe yourself to be a God, you can't give the responsibility of your life, or blame other people for the consequences or the life that you have. If you believe yourself to be a God, because if you're a creator, you can't be a victim. Both of those cannot exist in the same brain, the same mind. A victim mindset and the creator mindset cannot coexist. Okay. But Christians all day long will argue for their deficiencies and loathe who they are in the guise of being humble. Please, people, please. So the ideas, if you'll notice the videos that I do on this channel, that if I'm breaking down the ancient teachings before Christianity, I'm always giving you the ancient interpretation or the ancient ideas to help you get over the Christian programming. Because that frame of negativity has to be broken if we as a people, we as a community, and we as humanity are going to advance. Because I don't care if you're white, black, or brown, yellow, whatever you are. If you have been a Christian, you're going to be indoctrinated with the idea that of the enemy. Okay, if you don't believe what I believe, then automatically you're the enemy. Everybody is an enemy. From a metaphysical perspective, if you set up that mindset that everything or everybody is an enemy that's outside your circle, it sets in fear, which is going to be reflected back to you. The things that you need to confirm what you believe is going to be reflected back to you. It's an automatic loop that you're taught, and half of us, more than half of us, most people have no idea that they're in a loop of their own mind. Okay, most people have no idea, and Christianity gives you a whole frame or loops in which to think that creates the negative frames that you live in. Okay. So I'm breaking those frames. That's what I'm helping you do. Breaking those frames. Let's see. Let's see. I'm a God, says Mr. Martin. I'm practicing KCL. My mother wouldn't let me in her house the other day, and she's supposed to be a holy Christian and a good person. What the is that all about? Fear. That's all it is. It's just fear. That fear of the unknown. So I'm sorry to hear that. That you're having to go through that. You know, but a lot of times you don't. And this is one of the things you have to learn too, is you don't have to announce to people what you're doing and what you're learning. Don't try to talk to Christians about this stuff. They don't want to hear it. They don't care. Okay, they don't want to hear it. All right. So yeah. So just just keep it to yourself. This is really about you. A lot of people try to learn this because they want to go and talk and teach everybody else about it. You got to learn it first, and it's got to impact you first because people don't care what you have to say. People don't care how much you know unless they know how much you care, you know. And a lot of times we want to learn a piece of information and go and tell somebody for our own ego gratification, but you're not even using the shit yourself. Don't do that. Don't do that. And I'm not talking about you, I'm a god at all. I'm just saying in general. So I'm not saying that that's something that you do. Let's see. See. All right, my good peoples. What we got here? What we got here? I'm just looking. I'm just looking. See, we got any questions? No questions. Dang it. So, at any rate, you guys can also, if you guys want to become a member and support the work that I do, I would always also appreciate that. You can go to the become a member, sign up to become a member of the channel, and I put the link here. But always appreciate the support because it does allow me to do this and where I can study and bring you guys the knowledge and information because a lot of y'all don't have the time to study like I get to. I'm privileged to be able to do that, privileged to be able to create something that I can do that. So I can bring you this knowledge and information. So I love doing it. So another way that you can give is also through the Cash App. So $ Kuakaru1. So Cash App is another way that you can give. So whenever you guys do that and you're priming the pump, hey, think about a brother. Think about a brother. So I love that and I appreciate that. Always, always. Okay. Let's see. Uh Lumaniki says she needs to sign up. She's been slacking. Come on, Lumaniki. Come on now. So yeah. Akaru, let's see. So you sure she said the voice you hear is your higher self. Is that for everyone? Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Think about this, guys. When you hear voices in your head, where is that voice coming from? How is it even a voice? Because you're not even hearing anything. Nobody's saying anything. It's just you can hear words. And one of the things that Christianity did was they made us like question, is this God or is this the devil? Man, freak that. It's you. It's your higher self. It's coming from your God self, all of it. You ain't got to put it through this prism of trying to separate it if it's the God or the devil. That is so freaking stupid. The truth of the matter is, God and the devil is in you, what we call the devil. It's just opposites. It's in all of us. So it's all from you. So Christianity teaches you these ideas that make you end up operating on a low vibrational state and in conflict. You don't have to operate with that conflict. Don't do that. Don't do that. So yeah. So absolutely. Let's see. Let's see. It says, do your higher self think negative? No, the higher self doesn't think. It's your mind that thinks. Okay. So the higher self is the aspect of you that is a soul that is above the fray, so to speak. And let me give you an analogy in a way that you can think of the higher self. Okay. So you think of your higher self as being on a mountain, and if you're high up on a mountain, then you can see the valley below, okay, and you can see a wide array and a wide range of things, okay. You are walking in the valley as the person. You're walking in the valley, and the higher self is up on the mountain. The higher self can see way out ahead of you, okay. It can see things that from its vantage point that you can't yet see, but you can get guidance from your higher self, okay, if you can trust it. But if you have this, the thought is, man, is this God or is that the devil talking to me? If you can't trust your higher self, you won't accept its guidance. That creates a whole lot of other issues. Okay. So negativity is from us. That's our mind and how it's shaped. And Christianity shapes our minds from a negative perspective in most cases. Most cases, Christianity is going to negatively shape and frame your way of thinking. From the jump, from the first idea that you are a born sinner and that you must accept Jesus in order to be washed of your sins, that from the jump is framing you in a negative way that you need something outside yourself in order to be saved. That's negativity from the jump. From the beginning, you got a frame set up to make you believe about negative shit or believe in a negative way. So yeah. Yep. All right, all right, all right. Let's see. Let's see. Sir. Okay, I like this question. So, Kat, man, I can't say that name. Kimzer says, okay, I read that we're all in the, and this is probably going to be your last question here, but this is what I read that we're all from the same consciousness. My question is, are we all separate as and having our own awareness, or just one consciousness split in different bodies? Yes. So what you just spoke was the paradox of consciousness. And when I say a paradox means that it's this and that. We think that it's this or that. But when you're talking about consciousness, there is a universal consciousness that the ancient Kemetic terms, that universal consciousness was called ma'at. Okay? A lot of people don't know that. But ma'at is the equivalent of what we will call consciousness today, that represents that idea. But there's also an individualized ma'at, or individualized level of that consciousness that we have, okay, that we deal with. All right. So it's this and that. So your question is a deep one. And but it definitely speaks to the idea that, one, that we have our own universe. YOU universe. We think that there's one objective truth to everything. That is not the truth. The ancients would say all truths are half true. And this is another way how you can represent that idea. You can get two people to face each other. Okay. And I'm talking about how all different perspectives are true for that particular person. Two people can face each other. Tell those two people that are facing each other to point to the right. They're right. They're going to be pointing in opposite directions. Tell them to look to the right and explain what they see. They're going to be explaining different things, but it's both their truth. What we get in Christianity and these dogmatic religions is that we want to say that there's one objective truth that everybody should see and believe the same exact way. And if you don't believe my way, then obviously something is wrong with you. Matter of fact, something is so wrong with you, you probably don't even deserve to live. People kill in the name of God because somebody disagrees with their beliefs. I get called Satan, the Antichrist, all kinds of stuff because I teach something that is different than what they've been taught to believe. I become the enemy, and the enemy does not deserve compassion ever. So these are the kind of ideas that we're taught, and they're that are underlying religion a lot of times that we don't always recognize, guys. And it promotes hate. There is no one objective truth. We all have our own perspective. There's this movie that's called Crash, old movie, where there was an accident, and I forget how many people it was, but they all had to talk about the accident from their perspective. They all had different perspectives of the accident. Neither one of them were wrong. They just had a different perspective, but none of them were the same. That's how life is to us. We all filter life through our beliefs and who we are and who we believe we are. Okay. So our truths can be different, but we got to recognize that just because our truth is different doesn't make us any better or any less than anyone else. We got to operate our life from our truth in a way that makes life joyful for us. That's what we're trying to operate from. Okay, that's what you want to operate from. Live life to the fullest and make it joyful for you. Find your joy every single day and live it. Trust me, it works out better that way. I'm not just talking theory. That's what I endeavor to live every day. Now, believe me, I go through my shit. I go through my ups and downs. I get depressed. I get angry. I have all that stuff, happen. Life happens. But when life gets you off center, you have to know how to get yourself back. And that's what learning a lot of these tools will help you do. Okay. All right. All right. All right. One of my supporters is here. All right. Heat like Miami. So I got to put my supporters up here. Thank you very much. Says I've seen a lot of black content creators who've mentioned Horus and Isis and the Neteru, real people, that those events will be future events. I need to stop watching other people. What are your thoughts, Reg? They don't know what they're talking about. Because I've seen that too. And all they're doing is, again, they're just taking Christianity and putting it on Kemetic stuff. The Neteru were not real people. They are functions of nature. They are personifications of functions of nature. They were never people. Osiris was never a human being, never lived on the earth. Atum, Ptah, they were functions, and that's what they were supposed to be. Okay. So anybody that is watching that stuff, here, let me give you guys a video that I did on how to tell phony Kemetic teaching. Okay, I'll just put it in the comments here. Let's see here. How to recognize phony Kemetic teaching. And I put this link in here, and you guys can look at it. And I give you some documentation, but that link is that I'm putting in there is how to tell phony Kemetic teaching, and I give you some documentation with that, guys, to help you with it, so that you can, even if whether you're learning from me or not, this will be a good resource for you, because it'll give you a foundation where you can be more discerning and more discriminating, and I back it up with research. Okay, so that would be helpful for you. All right, family, it's about that time. So thank you guys, all you guys that gave tonight. I want to say thank you very much for appreciating, for being so generous and priming that pump for yourself and practicing that principle. So thank you very much. All of you that are here, that have been here tonight, thank you for your participation and your questions. Definitely appreciate it, because when you ask questions, everybody gets a chance to learn. So that's very, very cool. So LA, I see you. I see you. What's happening? So but at any rate, until next time, family, I'll see you next week, and y'all have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Okay. All right.